Hey everyone! Today we are talking about something that is oh so enlightening and oh so lighthearted and fun and all the
Happy
laughs.
Valentine's!
We're gonna have all the laughs today for Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day. We're talking breakups, and the reason we're doing that is Valentine's Day is
Yes,
the biggest day to break up.
yes, yes, it is. So that be important.
Yeah, so for all you guys, gals, neither, bulls, I apologize. My puppy just had surgery, so I can't leave him alone. He's being really loud and obnoxious, even though he's supposed to be sedated. So if you hear him, sorry. Homegrown
Yeah,
podcast.
homegrown podcast problems, man.
um, so we're gonna kick it off with Cassie telling you what not to do in a breakup.
Yeah, so this is what you're not gonna do when you break up with someone or someone breaks up with you. Because let's all just talk about it here. Breakups are never fun, whether you're doing the breaking up or being broken up with. I feel like I
Yeah.
cry more when I do the breaking up versus when I get broken up with.
I, I feel like I'm it's a very different reaction. When I am the dumper, I feel like that week I'm like super empowered and I'm like singing like fuck you, like CeeLo Green and all those kinds of things. And then like the week later, I'm like really sad about it.
Oh, see,
Like
no, I
raging
cry.
regret.
I cry when I'm breaking up with someone. Pat can attest to that. I was crying like crazy when I broke up with him the first time.
Well, when I get dumped, I tend to be immediately like Adeling or Taylor Swifting.
Yeah, it happens. So here's what we're not gonna do when you get broken up with. And sorry, I'm not sorry though that we're talking about this for Valentine's Day.
There are plenty of people who are going to wake up tomorrow morning and be like, I need to know what to do and what not to do. And they're going to come to us.
Because we're gonna tell you.
We're going to tell you, here you go. This is what not to do when you break up with someone, get broken up with, regardless of who's doing the dumping, who's the dumper, who's the dumpy. um, this is what not to do and what to do afterwards. So
Yes, we'll tell you what
start.
to do after we tell you what not to do. The what not to do is a much longer list because some people have really bad coping mechanisms for things.
Absolutely.
I mean, does anyone have great coping mechanisms for things? When I'm getting over a breakup, my go-to is on this list. It's usually get really drunk and fuck some other people.
Get over someone is to get under someone else. And on top of them and on their side and
And wherever you like to be.
hopefully there's a few more than just one positions involved.
Indeed. So, the first thing, let me back up. Skirt back up. I got an article from Reader's Digest. This may seem familiar to some of you. Hint, hint. If you know, you know. If not, then good for you.
You're
So,
lucky.
yes, this is 20 things you shouldn't do to get over a breakup. I combined two of them, so technically there's only 18. So, because it was stupid to have them separate. Anyway, I digress. Numero uno. Do not beg for another chance. It's always tempting because you love this person and all of that nonsense, but there's a couple of reasons that you don't want to do this. One, you lessen your self-worth. Two, you make the other person feel more guilty, and trying to guilt someone into staying is not going to end happy. Be that badass bitch we all have inside of us and walk the fuck away.
So, I have opinions on this. I think that immediately after, it is a bad idea. However, I think if time goes by and lessons have been learned and a conversation can be had, you can definitely get back together. I
Oh, for
think that
sure. I mean,
immediate
me and Pat did, but
right, like
I'm talking about like immediately after a breakup, these are things that you don't want to do.
okay, yeah, that I agree with then, but like I think you can ask for a second chance down the line.
But also don't beg either.
Yeah, don't beg. But
Don't
like,
ever beg someone to be with you. That is not good.
unless it's an animal. And
Oh, I beg Cookie to stay with me all the time.
I literally, like, when the puppy tries to get away, I'm like, come to love me.
Cookie is currently eating the rug underneath me right now.
This is getting HBO with his satellite dish.
What are you doing? Ow. Could you not eat the carpet while I'm trying to record? Go find your dad.
Tangent
Sorry.
episode.
Tangent. Anyway, so number 2, don't call or text them. Even if you want to remain friends with someone, give yourselves time to heal first. No late night texting, no I miss yous and I love yous, no drunk texting confessions on how much you love them or late night booty calls. Again, know your worth, let it go. Delete them from your socials and block them if you have to, but try not to contact them for a while.
Yes, and I mean that one. I don't have any further opinions. No
The
further
end.
comment yet, Anna.
Number 3, don't seek revenge. Even if they cheated, even if they wronged you somehow, revenge isn't worth it in the long run. Doesn't serve you as well as you think it will. Keep a level head as much as possible. You can be mad and hurt and upset. Revenge isn't the answer. I have different opinions sometimes.
I think you should just immediately destroy them and nuke their whole life. Just implode
drop
their
an
entire
atomic
life.
bomb on their house.
Don't. That's a toxic trait. It's something I battle with on a daily basis, that I'm a total Blair Waldorf and want to like destroy everyone's life. Don't do it. It's not a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're really bored.
That's fair, yeah. Unless it depends upon the severity of the breakup too. Like, if you found out they were cheating on you with like 5 other people and like they were like
In
hoeing
your bed.
around or whatever in your own bed, even if someone else's, fuck them. A little bit of revenge is okay. I mean, don't murder someone. That's not good. But like, like leak some of their, well, don't leak nudes, but like leak some text messages or something that are extra juicy if it's not like anything super personal or like,
Spread a rumor that they have crabs.
it goes away. Okay, so the next one. Don't date or marry the next person you fucking meet. Don't force yourself into a relationship because you think it'll help you. Let yourself date around and like live a little. Don't settle down because you miss being in a relationship. Settle down when you find that person that you think you're gonna fit well with. I mean, and if it happens like right afterwards, it happens. But like, don't settle into a relationship because that's called rebounding, folks.
Yeah, and like when you get out of a relationship, you need time not only to heal, but you need time to figure out like who you are now. Because I mean, like, this doesn't necessarily count for like a shorter term relationship, but like if you're in a relationship for a long period of time, you kind of do lose a little bit of yourself in a relationship. It just is what happens. It's the compromise of a relationship. But if you have to take the time to figure out like, this is who I am now. I am, John 2021, who are you today? Who are you now? Because it's not the same person you were when you first got in a relationship, however long ago.
Exactly. And I literally was going to say something similar. You literally like lose or like you just change a little bit after a long-term relationship, and that's okay. Like, but you got to like refigure out your life and yourself, with who are you without your ex-partner?
Yeah. That as well. I didn't mention growing up.
Yeah. So
Turing.
5 golden rings. Don't overdo it on partying. It can distract you from the healing process. It's good getting out there and having a drink with friends once in a while, but if you go out every night to get drunk and high, it won't help you. You'll just find yourself in a month being a fucking wreck.
Yeah.
Deal with it first, then party.
Yeah, from experience, benders never tend to fix anything. doesn't matter what the hurt is. Could be you're mourning the loss of a loved one. It could be that you're breaking up. Benders never help.
No.
It just delays the pain.
Uh-huh.
Because that pain is all waiting for you when you become lucid enough to know it's there.
Exactly. So, number 6, don't catastrophize it. Wow, I can't speak, everybody. Sorry. Don't make it into a fucking catastrophe. Breakups suck, but don't let it make you doubt yourself just because that person didn't see how fucking fantastic you are. Doesn't mean you're not fantastic. Not everyone's a match, and this shit happens.
There's actually a book by one of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Brandi Glanville, and it has a very appropriate title for what you just said. And the title is, I can't remember if it's a breakup or if it's a divorce, but it's a breakup, not cancer. And like, I'm like, puts it really into perspective. I read the book. It does really put breakups into a perspective of like, it's not the biggest deal in the world. Like, yeah, it sucks in the now, but you do get over it. So just put yourself into perspective.
Exactly. And I know it's hard to do in the moment, but if you really can take that second and be like, listen, self, it's not the end of the world. We'll get over it.
Yeah. Like, we're not dying, although it feels that way. Like, we're not. I don't think that's actually a possibility. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but
I'm not a doctor. However, I only play one on TV. Just kidding. Anyway, so number 7, don't avoid the pain. This kind of goes hand in hand with the last couple. You can't work it away. You can't drink it away. You can't smoke it away. Like in the partying section, the pain will catch up to you, and it's better to deal with it head on.
Yeah. And the more you run from it, I feel like the worse it's going to end up being.
Oh, for sure. If you push it down for a while, it's going to come out so much worse and strong, and it's going to fucking suck.
Absolutely. As someone who used to be an emotion bottle upper,
Me too. I'm working
to
on
explode at the worst possible moments and like to just be completely unable to to filter your emotions through any kind of mental lock. It's not a pretty picture. And if you are with someone, they're going to think you're fully crazy.
it. Yeah.
Fully crazy, because you're going to be angry and crying and laughing, and just all of the emotions are happening all at once, and it's just a weird thing. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't.
Process your emotions.
Yeah, because then, like, you're gonna, like, drop a pencil and everything's gonna come out and you're gonna fucking explode out of nowhere.
Yeah, like, and that's literally something that it is. It's something so minuscule and stupid, but there's just not enough room in that bottle for any more. And it's just like, boom.
And then you explode.
And God bless this mess, because this mess has exploded so hard.
Agreed.
And Brandon has been there and he has seen it and he's still here, and God love him.
Yeah, me and Pat both are guilty of this, I think. That we just kind of like bottle it up and then something stupid, like we're working on it, like we're way better at communication this time, but like in general in my life, I've always been that person to just like put it under the rug and I'll deal with it later type of person. It's not good. Don't do it. Therapy.
No. And it's not, I'm going to say this, that extends long past relationships. That's everything in your life, not just love. That's everything. This is right now we're
broad
just like,
life advice.
Yeah, this is like broad spectrum right now. Like, just process emotions. They're toxic if you don't.
Agreed. So now we're going to narrow it back in. Number 8, don't take to social media and don't kiss and tell. Don't whine on your Facebook feed and trash your ex on Instagram. Just let the people you care about know, and just let it lie. I know it's easier said than done for those of you who love to post every thought and feeling you've ever had on social media. Begging for sympathy and trashing your ex just makes more problems. And don't stalk your ex online either. It's not good for your mental health. I know you fucking wanna, but fucking don't. And also, if you're hooking up with someone else, don't rub it in your ex's face.
Absolutely.
Don't
In
post it all
fact,
over the internet so they see it. Like you're trying to be subtle or like good example for Pat, his ex-girlfriend, when they broke up, she came into his job with her new like boyfriend or whatever just to like try and make him jealous or whatever. Yeah, don't do that shit.
that happened to MJ Jr. too, with one of her boyfriends. Just children. um, Absolutely. I think that you should take a little break from social media too when
Oh, for sure. And block your ex on everything or like at least mute them or whatever you can do.
yeah, just make it so you can't see them for a while. But honestly, a social media detox is a really good thing after any kind of trauma or any kind of
Agreed.
sad things because social media is such a negative and toxic place. I'd say 80% of the time. And just you're stepping away from that and separating from it really can help heal your heart and heal your brain a little faster because you're not taking in any excess negativity.
Agreed. Yeah, and that's the last thing you need when you're in a breakup. Like I usually like if I'm like in a sad place, well when I was back living in Jersey, I would like hang out with my mom or like you or Kiki or whoever was around at the time and just kind of do my own thing. Remember when like it was just MySpace and that was the only social media?
Oh man, and nothing was that negative on MySpace.
No, everyone was like, I'm emo, but like, here's my favorite music and shit.
Right? And like, oh my god. And I remember like our little friend group had the most tricked out MySpaces because like Billy just hooked us up.
I actually learned how to do my own,
Oh.
and I
Well,
used
aren't
to,
you fucking fancy?
yeah, I
La
used to know HTML really well. However, I don't now. But I thought about going into the tech industry. So, did you try unplugging it and plugging it back in? Anyhow,
Unplug it, press the power button for 30 seconds, and then turn it back on.
does it work? Great.
Have a nice day.
Yeah. But Billy would be so proud if I did that. However, I completely forgot where I was going. So
I don't know, but I'll segue into this that you made me fucking cry the other day, so I'm a little mad at you.
I did.
The video you posted of Billy.
Oh, yeah. I'm still not doing great. Because I'll tell you after we're done recording. But yeah, life's crazy. So yeah, tangent episode. Next is number 9. We are halfway there. Don't beat yourself up. Don't let yourself be hard on yourself. Just because that person doesn't see your worth doesn't mean you don't have any. They just weren't your match. Be compassionate to yourself after a breakup. That's so important. Take all that angry energy and channel it into compassion for yourself. Take that energy, be like, you know what? Fuck you. You didn't see my worth. That's fine. You're not for me. I'm going to make myself better.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really else to say, other than it's not 100% your fault and it's not 100% their fault. So it just is what it is. Know your
Exactly.
worth. Know that just because that one lid doesn't fit your pot, there's
There's
another,
millions of lids out there.
and there is a lid for every single pot.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's just harder to find, and sometimes that lid may not look or seem the way you want them to be.
Exactly. I mean, after me and Pat broke up, I didn't think he was going to be the lid to my pot, but here we are. Time changes a lot of things.
Exactly.
But again, that's the exception, not the always.
Right.
So, number 10, double digits, y'all. Don't stay home all the time. Sure, you could take a few days to process, but sticking to your normal routines is the best thing you can do. If you have girls' night every Thursday or karaoke every Saturday, still go as much as you may not feel like you want to, you'll be happy you did, because sitting at home wallowing in your self-pity never does anybody any good. So, like, try not to do that. Hang out with your friends. They'll pump you up. You need people to gas you up after a breakup.
Absolutely. I think that so many people sit and wallow in their self-pity for way too long. Like, give yourself a day or two, wallow for a minute, and then try to pick yourself up and just fake it
Go
till you
about
make
your day, you know? Yeah.
it.
That's all you gotta do. Fake it till you make it is literally like my life motto. Do I know anything about taxes? No. Am I doing a job with taxes? Yes. Am I doing all right? Yes. Faking it till I make it.
Yeah. I mean, same.
So, you know. But again, this doesn't mean switch into the other gear and party every night and then fuck yourself up that way. Just keep a normal routine and see your friends. See your friends doesn't mean you have to go out to the bar and get fucking plastered every night.
If that's part of your normal routine, maybe do it. But moderation.
I mean, if your normal routine is to get plastered every night, you should probably see a therapist and go to rehab. However,
I'd like to point out that we were 21 once.
that's true.
And these fine people have heard stories and deserve an honesty that we are not providing right now. There have been many breakups that you and I have gotten over by getting trashed. It wasn't healthy and it wasn't right, but we were 21 and we didn't know any better. Now we know better. We're spreading knowledge.
Yes, now we're spreading knowledge to the younger generation. Hello, young people. Fellow young people.
Hello, young people. Who you trying to kid, girl? We're elderly.
Fellow young people from the 31-year-old lady.
Hey, kids, get off.
Am I like a lady now? Oh my god. Anyway, I digress. So, the next one. Don't lose sight of who you are. Don't let yourself forget who you are. In relationships, sometimes our sense of self gets clouded because you spend so much time developing a relationship with someone else. Although usually in like a relationship that like is the right relationship, you don't really lose much of yourself. However, different topic for a different day. Remember who you are. You are a badass and no one can take that away from you.
Yeah. It's also like we said, we kind of said this, touched on this before. It's like you also have to just kind of figure out who you are now, too, you know?
Every life experience, and breakups and relationships are 110% life experience, changes you in some way. So now you have to figure out who you are now that you're the next evolution of yourself.
Yeah, pretty much. You're a new person now. And who is that person? What is their purpose? And what direction are they going to go in? Because that's going to kind of determine your next chapter.
I mean, when me and Pat broke up, a year later, he moved to Colorado. So he's like, fuck New Jersey. I'm getting out of this shitty job and I'm leaving New Jersey. I have nothing holding me here. And then I moved to Colorado. So, you know, shit happens, man. Everything in life is an experience and everything changes you in some way. And breakups and relationships are big parts of things that change you.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I just, I'm like about to go into like what is on my list, but I'm like, no, we have more stuff to do.
Yes.
But breakups are hard. Don't lose yourself in it.
Exactly. 12. Don't negate responsibility. No one likes to think that they had anything to do with a breakup, but sometimes we fucking do. No, it's not your fault if someone cheats or abuses you in any way. However, usually in a breakup, not one person is at fault. There's always a lesson to be learned in a breakup from something that we've done in the past. And then I think you get to your ultimate form when you're finally ready and you finally find your person. You've had all these experiences and learned what not to do in relationships from taking stock of reasons you fucked up. I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb and say I blame myself for everything that happens in my life. Like, I am that type of person. I self-loathe a lot. So even if someone breaks up with me or I break up with them, I still blame myself in some capacity. So
I can vouch for that one.
even if that person was a complete shitbag, I still blame myself.
Indeed. Can confirm.
Yeah, John's known me long enough to know that, yes, that is 110% true. I always find something wrong with myself. However, hopefully I'm in my final form. Yet to be seen, but we will see.
I mean, when it comes to responsibility, there's no... I'm trying to think of a way to word this. Like,
no one's ever 100% not responsible for something.
Right. Like, it's never one person's fault. It's a breakup is usually a breakdown of the relationship, a breakdown of communication, a breakdown of trust. Something is broken down, and things don't break unless someone allows them to.
Agreed. Although I do want to preface this again with, if you're breaking up with someone because it's abuse or they cheated, it's a little different.
Yeah, that's...
But like your standard breakup, usually like someone breaks up with someone, it's like you just weren't compatible, and that's okay.
Yeah, I'm not talking about those situations. I was talking generalized.
Well, I just wanted to like throw it out there just so no one gets the wrong idea. We're not saying it's your fault you were abused. It is absolutely not your fault. And fuck that person.
Yeah, and you should definitely leave. And you can come live with me.
Or me. I mean, I have a tiny apartment, but like, call me.
I have an obnoxious puppy. He's kind of cute, though.
I have 2 obnoxious cats. So if you're a cat person, you come to me. If you're a dog person, you go to John. If you're on the east side of the country, you go to John. If you're on the west side of the country, you come to me.
You stayed?
Because I am now on the western side of the country. It feels weird. However, the next one, number 13, lucky or unlucky, depending upon who you are. Number 13, don't be a hater. Wish your ex the best. It's hard to do at first. Trust me, I fucking know it. Remember, they're also a fucking human being, man. Like, sometimes they have to be on their own and do what they need to do, and do it. Sometimes it's doing it with someone else. Harboring resentment doesn't make it like that person's gonna be like worse off forever, and harboring resentment's gonna change everything. No, it doesn't. It just makes you more bitter.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say that you can't feel hatred.
You can feel hatred, but like,
just keep it kind of in, like, don't speak that into the world, because then if something bad were to happen and you kind of wished for something bad to happen, you're going to feel guilty about that, because you can't hate someone without love.
You can't hate someone you didn't love first.
Right. And one of the biggest, what is it called? Brain fart. Like the grieving steps. Anger is one of them, and it's an understandable emotion to a loss and to being sad. So I think that, you can be a little bit of a hater, but just try to not put it out into the universe. Just be mad.
And don't let it like take you under, because it takes a lot less energy to just let it go than it does to harbor all that hatred.
Yeah. Go get a punching bag, put a picture of their face on it, and just punch it and get your anger out, and then go about your day.
Or just get stoned.
That works.
Sit on the couch. I mean, or drunk. Whatever you prefer to do. Have some shrooms? I don't know.
Don't have shrooms.
Don't have shrooms, apparently. I've never done any hallucinogenics.
Don't do hallucinogenics when you're sad, please and thank you.
That's your PSA of the day. Don't do hallucinogenics when you're sad.
I mean, any drug, really.
Drinking when you're sad is also a really fucking bad idea. Because alcohol, my friends, is a depressant.
Yeah, I mean, I would try to avoid substance overuse. Maybe just chill yourself. Don't like wreck yourself.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself, y'all. Anyway, that rolls into my next one. Don't turn to alcohol or other bad habits. No amount of sex, drugs, and rock and roll are going to heal your broken heart. The end of that one.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't think
The dog is
anything else needs to be expanded on that. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll doesn't heal at all.
My dog is being very loud, so I'm kind of trying to mute through his fucking tirade with his cone.
Oh, I don't even hear it, so.
Oh, that's good, because I'm trying not to.
Anyhow, so number 15, don't see the relationship as a failure. See it as an opportunity to learn and grow. What would you change in the next relationship that you go into? What did you like about the relationship you just got out of? And what didn't you like? No one failed. Just a good time for growth. It's a good time to grow as a person.
Yeah, I think this kind of keys in with everything we've been saying about like just learning who you are and try to figure out where to go from what's your next step.
Exactly. So 16. And this is something that people do out of vanity or whatever it may be. Don't start a restricting diet. Don't turn the issues with your breakup on your body. Coming from someone who's plus size, technically, sadly, I am plus size. I'm not even that heavy, and I'm still technically considered plus size. However, do not take your relationship ending out on your body, and I know how hard this is. I have body dysmorphia really fucking bad, so it's hard for any problem I have turns into an issue about my body in my brain. So I get it. Like, I get people out there that are like, they broke up with me because I'm fat. And even if they say that's the reason they broke up with you, A, they're a shit person. B, fuck that person. C, don't start eating like not eating or something, because trust me, I've been there before. Like, I've been there after like something really bad happens and I just stop eating because I'm like, you know what? I'm fat and this is the reason that happened. And then I just restrict my diet. Don't do it. It's not cool. Food is good.
And also, I'm going to add to that psychologically, when you go through stress, there are people who just don't eat when they're going through stressful times. Try to make sure that you're forcing yourself almost to eat, because you do need sustenance, whether your body is telling you you do or not. Like, I go through times when I get really, really stressed where I'll just won't eat. I just don't make time for it.
I'm the person who flip-flops. Like, sometimes I just sit there and do nothing but eat, and then other times I just don't eat at all. Like, I can recall a specific time in 2018, I thought my life was ending at the end of 2018. So I fell into some really bad habits. One of them was anorexia. Another one of them was self-harm. Don't do that. Therapy is so good for you. And even if you don't have therapy, there's so many resources on the internet. Or if you just really take some time to draw from within, like, what your problems are, and try and like say, okay, so this is causing me to not eat. So what can I like refocus myself into? Like, what good habits can I have to get rid of this pain instead of all my old bad coping mechanisms?
Yeah, and if you start a restrictive diet, you can't eat tons and tons of chocolate. And everyone knows that while chocolate cannot heal a broken heart, it can soften the blow.
Agreed. And most people on restrictive diets can't drink either.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get high either, because that's going to make you... Oh, actually, no, you know what? If you're feeling like you can't eat, get stoned and get the munchies.
Some people don't have that response, but if you do get the munchies, do it.
Hi, my name is Cassie, and I get the munchies when I'm stoned. Hi, I'm dumb. Anyway, it's a good thing I edit these.
I was just like,
I haven't eaten much today, and I'm almost done with this rum bucket, so I'm slightly tipsy. And
I was
that's
just
why
like,
I'm way more funny in this episode, y'all. I'm slightly drunk, and I haven't been drunk in a long time.
I am going to break my what do you call it? Sobriety when we do our episode
Cheating
with
episode
yeah.
next week, and we have a
No, I
guest.
thought cheating was the week before this.
That's it.
I don't know. I thought it was. I could be
I'll
wrong.
cut this out anyway.
Obviously.
Oops. So, 17.
Cheating is the week before. I'll be getting drunk for last week's episode.
We record out of order sometimes.
Tune in last week for
Tune in last week when me and John will be trash. I hope you enjoyed it.
with our friend Jenny.
Yeah. So 17. Don't idolize your ex. This is something that happened to me. Sometimes people like to solely focus on the happiest parts of their relationship and turn their ex into the perfect person. There's a reason the relationship ended. Clearly wasn't sunshine and rainbows all the time, so remember to focus on the positive and the negative. Your ex is not perfect.
Otherwise, they wouldn't be your ex now, would they?
No.
This drives me absolutely crazy when people do this.
I did it with
He who shall not be named.
he who shall not be named, exactly. He who I'm not allowed to talk about. For reasons that some of you know, some of you don't.
Those of you who don't, be happy. Yeah, I mean, this drives me absolutely nuts. People do this. I see it all the time, and it just feels so toxic to the person because they're just sitting there like, first off, they're solely blaming themselves for the breakup, which to me, it's just like, unless you were an abuser, it's not 100% your fault.
And if you are an abuser, you're not going to blame yourself anyway, so.
No. Yeah, if you're an abuser, this doesn't apply to you. You wouldn't feel this way. Your ex was not perfect, but guess what? Neither were you. And then that's just it. No one is perfect. You just have to find the person who loves you despite the fact that you're not perfect. And that is what true love is. You love someone despite their shortcomings.
Their flaws, yeah.
Yeah. And that's the difference between like and love. You like someone because of who they are. You love someone despite who they are or who they're not.
Exactly.
And like
I've been there. I get it. Like, you feel like that person was like your soulmate and everything you ever wanted. But then like you're going to find out down the road. This is something that happened to me. You're going to find out down the road that person treated you like absolute garbage. Or
did you
whatever.
intentionally quote Avril Lavigne just there?
No. Did I quote Avril Lavigne?
A little bit. You were like, it wasn't everything that you wanted.
Yeah. You're gonna, like, down the road, after the breakup, like, couple months, couple years, however long it takes, you're gonna realize that, oh shit, that person wasn't perfect, and you're gonna finally be with someone who actually gives a shit about you and doesn't treat you like shit. And you're like, wow, this is what that's supposed to feel like.
Absolutely. Breakups suck, but it's the end of something is just the beginning of something else.
Exactly. And the last one I have on this list, 18, like I said, I combined some. Don't jet off somewhere spontaneously. However, if you have the funds to do it and the time off from work, fuck it, why not? But, like, don't put yourself in debt.
I would like to say that of the no's, this is the one I disagree with the most.
Same.
If you're going to be sad, why not be sad in Fiji?
Or Cabo, or
Yeah.
whatever sounds fantastic to you. Why not be sad while staring at the Colosseum? Like,
It's like when people say money can't buy you happiness. I'm like, no, but I'd much rather be sad in a Porsche and a fucking mansion than in a Kia in a 2-bedroom apartment.
or in a fucking Hyundai and a tiny 1-bedroom apartment.
Like, ugh, so stupid. Money can't buy you happiness. If you're an unhappy person, you're just going to be an unhappy person with money. But can't money make it a little better?
I mean, for
You'll be more.
most people who have grown up without a lot of money, like us, money would solve a lot of my problems.
It would. I've got 99 problems, and money would
money's
solve
all
about
of them.
89 of them.
Essentially, yes. But yeah, that's my list of things to not do after a breakup. Recap, find yourself, don't get too drunk or too high all the time, and just just process it, live it, be it. It happens. Breakups happen, y'all, and you'll live, I promise you.
And now we're going to talk about the healthy things to do.
Yeah.
So the first thing is to talk about it with people you trust or a random stranger that you may never see again. This is the whole bartender therapy thing. However, if the bartender is busy, don't. They ain't got time for you.
Yeah. So people who have come from the restaurant industry or retail or whatever, it's fine to dump your problems on someone, but like at the same time, if they're busy, like let them do their job. They're working, and not just for you.
Right. Like they work for a company, and that's the company that pays their bills, so you need to let them do their job.
Unless you're gonna tip them $1,000.
Yeah, right?
For the money they're gonna lose.
But I mean, like, you always have your friends. You can always talk to your friends. And
everyone has someone they can talk to, whether it be your friends, your family, whoever it may be, your coworkers. John's having dog problems.
I am. And he's driving me absolutely fucking nuts. And my upstairs neighbor is stomping. Like, it literally sounds like a fucking Hitler march up above me.
Oh, I don't hear that. I just hear juice.
Oh my god, he's such a pain in my ass. Oh my god, ow.
Taking a pause, y'all. Do 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 do.
If you destroy anything, I will take you back to the pound. No, you can't just wander back in here like nothing happened. You're a menace to my podcast. Children. Am I muted?
Yes.
No, I'm good. All right.
A ding ding, we're back.
The next one is make plans and keep them. All right, that second part wasn't in there, but I'm adding it.
Yes.
You have to make plans. You have to get yourself excited for something. You have to spark some joy. Hashtag Marie Kondo. Hashtag not a sponsor yet.
Yeah. Does this spark joy? And even if you feel like it's not going to, again, just do it.
Yeah. It's just like you said, keep your routines. This is similar. It's like make plans. Make plans with your friends. Make plans with family. Make plans with someone. And go out and try to just live your life. Go through the motions, and eventually that pain just does subside and go away.
Yeah, no matter what it is.
The next one is get a hobby.
Or if you already have hobbies, lean into them.
Yeah, dedicate. If you have like a
I have
collection,
too many hobbies sometimes.
I don't really have many hobbies.
I mean, this is a hobby.
Ooh, I have a hobby. Honestly, like, other than
podcasting's a hobby, and I mean, I've got modeling, I've got Well, not right now, but burlesque. Like, I've got a lot of hobbies, and sometimes I overbook myself and stress myself out. However,
Is being a weed connoisseur a hobby?
I'm not sure if that's a hobby, but like, me and Pat get stoned and watch TV or play video games every night. So is that a hobby?
So, like, in fine restaurants, they have, like, sommeliers for
Yes.
wine. I
Alcohol.
want to be a weed sommelier when they open, like, restaurants that can infuse weed into shit. Like,
I mean, we have bud tenders here, so
I mean, yeah, but I want to be like that, but in a fancy restaurant.
I would say, well, talk to Pat because he knows all about it. So he can tell you everything about anything.
All right. But yeah, get a hobby, find something to take up your time, to use your brain.
It's important.
It is.
And what do you enjoy? Like, I mean, I don't know what like people who are like not creatively brained enjoy. Like, what do math people enjoy? Like, do you enjoy accounting? I don't know what people like that enjoy. Do some spreadsheets. I don't know.
Solve the quadratic equation.
I don't know what's like smart, like non-creative brained people do. I'm a creative brain person, so I'm like, I'm gonna go model or like do a podcast or like I'm gonna dump myself into something else. I don't know, man.
Whatever your thing is, do it. As long as it's legal or you can get away with it.
As long as your thing isn't fucking children, animals.
Yeah, anything we've taken a hard stance over, we don't support you. But if it's not against those things, you're good.
Yeah, exactly. If your thing is like being a Nazi, also maybe not do that.
We've taken a hard stance against Nazism, haven't we?
I don't know. Hard stance, we don't support Nazis.
Hard stance. I think we've definitely done this. I'm getting deja vu.
Hard stance, Nazis are bad. If you're wearing a 6 million was not enough shirt, you can go fuck off and get off this podcast and die. The end.
Oh, wait, a what?
A 6 million was not enough.
Oh, fuck that. The next one is something I'm actually going to challenge Cassie to as well a little bit, is to make a playlist. And Cassie and I have excellent taste in music, if I do say so myself. So I'm going to, what do we have, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks till this comes out?
Yeah.
Let's make a breakup playlist for them and give it to the children.
Yes, me and John will make Spotify playlists. If you don't have Spotify, I'm sorry. But we'll like release like in the blog, like all the songs we put on the playlist. I will put them out there for you. I'll make it public on my Spotify if you want to download it or whatever. Fucking feel free.
And I'm going to put it in a really good order. So it goes from like angry breakup to like getting over it.
Yeah, I'm going to go from like really fucking emo to like Lizzo. So I'm going like Hawthorne Heights to Lizzo.
This is going to be great. And I think we're going to help a lot of people. And that is what this is all about.
Exactly. If we help one person with this podcast, that's all that matters to me.
And you're welcome. We love you. Buy us coffee.
Yo, ex ain't shit.
What?
Yo, ex ain't shit.
Yeah, basically. The next one is to get back out there. Download the dating apps if that's your way of meeting people. Go out to bars if that's your way.
Although right now, that's not a thing. So perhaps wait until it is. Or download the apps if you've never done it before. Give it a fucking shot. You know?
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, there's a lot of really bad things that could actually happen. I'm so bad that I said that.
Okay, but if you're going to download dating apps and you've never done it before, meet in public. That's my number one rule.
Yes. I think we did an episode on this, so check that out.
Reference every other fucking episode of this podcast we've done.
But yeah, get back out there. Try dating new people. Date around a little bit. Don't jump into a relationship because that's rebounding, but date around.
Don't go on one first date and say, okay, this is that person. No. Honey, I get it. It's annoying and it's hard to schedule out dates all the time. Trust me, I've done it. Like, if you listen to the first installment of this podcast, you'll know I was going on a fuck ton of dates and getting dating fatigue. But trust me, it's worth it.
Yeah,
You
it is.
learn a lot by getting back out there and dating and stuff.
And who knows? The first guy you go on a date with may end up being a good guy for you or a good gal for you or neither, both, whatever.
But
But you're
that's
not gonna
rarely
really
the
know.
case
Yeah, and you're not going to know that
until you do it.
you go on a few other dates and see what else is out there. Don't just put yourself in a new relationship because all you're trying to do is kind of ignore the fact that you're in pain.
Yes, serial monogamist, we're looking at you. I know, I used to be one, okay? I won't lie to you about it.
And confirm.
John knows that back when we were in college, me for the first time, I used to be a serial monogamist, and it's bad for you, man. Get out there, date around, or just be by your fucking self for a while. It's dope.
Yeah, I mean, there is absolutely no rush. Get back out there on your own time and at your own pace. If you want to just download the apps and chat with people, do it. If you want to just go to a bar and flirt with other people of whatever gender you prefer, do it. If you want to, I mean, don't sit at home and wallow.
Yeah.
I was about to say that. But
also, people within 50 miles of Denver, if you see me on Tinder, holla at your girl, because I downloaded Tinder to promote the podcast.
Yeah, I gave her that idea because I put it on my Grindr and we've got an uptick in listening. So,
and I put it on my Tinder, and I've had some people message me that they listen to the podcast. So that's fucking cool.
Yeah, you guys are rad. We love you.
I mean, I'm not going to have sex with you or date you because I'm in a relationship and I'm monogamous. However,
I will.
John will fuck you, maybe. If you're in North Carolina. I mean, I'm in Denver, so. And if you're
I'll be visiting in a few months, I'm sure, once it's safer.
If you're in Raleigh area, and North Carolina, and you see John, also give us a holla. Give us a rating on Apple Podcasts if you see this.
The next one is work it through with a therapist. And I'm assuming the person who wrote this was rich because therapy is expensive.
I was going to say, if you can't afford therapy, work it through with yourself or friends.
Yeah. Self-talk is good because you could really kind of get to the heart of the issue. Don't be afraid to sit and have an out loud conversation with yourself.
I talk to myself all the time.
Same. Sometimes you just need a higher class of people to talk to.
And that's yourself.
Yes.
Fuck everyone else, talk to yourself.
Pretty much. I mean, listen, you need to work something out. The best way to do it is to vocalize it and just speak it into the world. I've even been known to take my whiteboard, which has a bunch of weird writing on it from Brandon, so I'm not going to touch it right now because I don't know what it is. And I'll like sit there and like write out my thoughts because I just need to process.
Sometimes I turn it into poetry.
Yeah, which is actually one of the things is write in your journals. It's the last one, but I'll skip to it. Write in your journal.
Journal poetry. And I mean, if writing's not your thing, that's okay too. Because like, I know there's a lot of like very like analytical people who are really shitty at writing, but journaling isn't a bad idea.
No, and you don't
even
have
if you're
to
not a writer, you don't have to be a writer to journal. Yeah.
No, I was just saying, like, you don't need to be a writer. You just need to put your thoughts into paper, and it helps you immensely to process those thoughts.
Even if it's like, today is Friday, January 22nd of 2021, and I am feeling sad today. That's fine too. It doesn't have to be poetic. It doesn't have to be amazing quality. It's your fucking journal. No one else is going to see it. Who cares?
Right. I would probably say to expand on the sadness, like a therapist would tell you. and
Well, I'm
tell me
just saying
more.
that that's the start of the journal entry.
Right, but
Yeah,
something
act
you
like you're a
for
therapist and
example,
say, okay, I'm sad, but why am I sad? And just keep going with that. Ask
right.
yourself questions about what you just wrote down and just keep going.
Use your journal as a free therapist.
Sometimes I title my journal as, hey, Billy.
Mm.
Like I'm talking to my late best friend, but it's my journal. If that helps you too, like if you had lost a parent or a friend or something and you don't have that person to communicate with, use your journal to act like you're communicating with that person. Just
Absolutely. I can't tell you how many times I've like written letters to my grandmother or had out loud conversations with her since she's passed.
exactly. Like since Billy passed, who, if you all don't know, is a friend of mine and John's who passed away quite a long time ago. However, I still use my journal. I call my journal Billy now.
I mean, yeah, he was such a big part of your life. It's not surprising that you want to keep him as part of it.
Exactly. So just journaling is important. Just getting your thoughts out onto paper makes you feel so much better.
Yeah. And
Or
I
if,
told
in
you,
our case, get it out vocally on a podcast.
yeah, we definitely do that a bit.
Sometimes, and if you haven't heard some of it, you might in our tangent episodes.
Right. Stop texting your ex is the next one, which we said don't text him before. But it's actually, I think, very important to mention twice because you need to cut a detox.
Yes.
And it's never easy. And if you're texting them, talking to them, it's kind of like you're a junkie still getting your fix. You need to detox, as hard
Agreed.
as uncomfortable as that is.
110% agree. Like we said, don't text your ex. And even if you still want to be friends with this person, wait a little while.
Yeah.
It's important to
You're
have
not
that
ready.
detox.
Yeah, you're not ready. You're still hurt. You're still upset. And then the last one is understand and know that it takes time to move on. You have to grieve. You have to go through the 7 steps of grief or whatever it is.
Because
You,
losing a relationship is almost like death. It's the
yeah,
death of a relationship.
the death of a bachelor.
If you're a Panic at the Disco fan.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's not an overnight process, and unfortunately, it's not a process that's the same for every person. No one has the same grieving process, and I can tell you how I get over breakups. Cassie can tell you how she gets over breakups, but at the end of the day, you have to understand yourself and you have to understand what's going on in your head, and you have to process your own emotions in your own time, in your own way.
Yeah, there
Because
is no time limit on processing these things. So like, okay, it's been a week, you have to get over it. No, that's not how like grief works. That's not how any of this works.
no, it's definitely not. And I feel like a lot of times in our society, people expect you to just be okay. Um, Something that is despicable in our society is the fact that if you lose a family member from death, you get 3 days of paid vacation time. Like, what am I supposed to do in 3 days? You know?
I didn't get any when Billy died. They gave me a 2 weeks off, but I didn't get paid for it.
I got the afternoon off to go to his funeral.
Gotta love grief in our country.
Yeah.
America! America!
Bad. But yeah, I mean, breakups suck. You have to figure out a way to make them suck less for you. And
Exactly.
unfortunately, that's a lot of trial and error. Um, but the biggest thing that I could say that helps me get through it is talking to people I trust. And
Same.
I do like journaling and stuff like that too. But talking to someone, talking to my friends, talking to my parents helps immensely for me to get over stuff.
Same for me. And just like sticking to my normal routine, man, it helps. Like, I know it's tempting to just call out of work every day and like stop going to see your friends on Tuesday nights like you always do, or whatever it may be. Or even if like this relationship was a toxic one for you and they tried to like take you from your friends, if you had like sitting plans with your friends before this relationship when they tried to tear you away from everybody, reach out to those friends and be like, hey, are you still doing this thing on Tuesday? Are you still doing karaoke on Tuesday nights? Because I want to come back in. I've had some shit go down, but I want back in.
Yeah, I mean, your friends are going to take you back. That's
Your
why
ex might not take you back, but your friends will.
Yeah. I mean, how many times have either of us gone through a breakup?
Me, way too many.
And guess who's always been there for each other, us, through it all?
Yeah.
Is the two of us. We've been friends since 7th grade. And like, regardless of anything, like, we always can count on each other.
Exactly.
I'll be
Even
right
if you don't think you can. And I promise you that. Like, once I got out of my shitty relationship that with he who shall not be named, it was hard for me, and it was hard for me to come to terms with it, my friends still wanting to talk to me. And it was hard for me to come to terms with reaching back out to my old friends because I thought I hurt them really bad when I just disappeared off the face of the earth because I was in a really shitty place with a shitty person and we had a shitty relationship and I was too afraid to reach back out to people. Don't follow in my footsteps. Reach back out to your friends. If they're really your friends, they'll be there and they'll be waiting for you.
And yeah, I had to walk away, so I don't know what you were just saying.
No, it's fine. I was just recapping how, like, he who shall not be named fucked me up, and I was afraid to reach back out to people and reach back out to my friends because I thought they weren't going to be there. But guess what? If they're really your friends, they'll be there for you.
Yeah, no matter what. I mean, you may have to apologize. You may have to, like, have a few uncomfortable conversations, but they're going to be your friends regardless. And in the moment, they'll take you back in a heartbeat. And you may have to make amends, but just do it.
If they don't, they weren't your friends anyway.
Right. If they don't take you back because you're upset in the moment, they weren't really good friends.
So, I think that sums my part up on breakups.
Yeah, breakups suck.
Breakups suck. Happy Valentine's Day for those of you who aren't getting broken up with.
And even if you are, you still deserve some chocolate, so go buy some.
Exactly. Actually, I think this comes out, I don't know if it's right before or right after Valentine's Day. If it's right after, go buy yourself some clearance fucking chocolate, man. Buy yourself that candy heart.
It's like 2 days after. So there might
so it's 2 days after Valentine's Day. So if there's still some Valentine's Day candy at Target or Walmart and it's on like 50 to 80% off, fucking buy some. Chill out. Unless you can't have chocolate.
In which case, just treat yourself to something you do like.
Exactly. Treat yourself to some fucking vegetables. I don't know what you want. I don't know. What does Pat eat? He can't have chocolate.
Really?
Unless it's like ultra dark chocolate. No, he can't have chocolate.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. So treat yourself to a dark chocolate bar. I don't know what you people eat. And I feel sorry for you because I have a partner who has a lot of dietary restrictions, so I know how it goes.
And if you need someone to talk to, you can always talk to us. Hit us up on our socials. We are grapesanddatespod@gmail.com.
You can find us at grapesanddatespod.com, and you can find all of our info there. And it's brand spanking. Well, by now it's not brand new. However, we're recording this is pretty new. And we are Grapes and Dates on Facebook and Twitter. My Twitter is GND_Cassy.
I am GND_John.
And we are Grapes and Dates Pod on Instagram. I am Grapes and Dates _Cassie.
And I am Grapes and Dates_John.
So, and find us on the YouTube. We are Grapes and Dates on YouTube. I always forget about YouTube too.
We always forget YouTube.
Because we don't have like a customized URL on YouTube, and I don't want to read you off the URL. Just go to the search bar, type in Grapes and Dates, and you'll find us.
And other than that, we will see you next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.